Hello, and welcome. It's very hard to see who is watching, but if you're going to play this as a replay, I want to welcome you as well. Um, it's an interesting topic that I want to discuss today. It's the topic about 2020 and what the year has in store for us. Um, 2020 promises to be a transformational year, a year that has nothing but change, and it lays the foundation for the next 30 years or more. And I invited you to come and explore why is it so. And the reason being, we are a microcosm of the macrocosm. So we are very much influenced by the planetary alignments. And we're influenced and aided in our life journey by it. And, we all have been reading horoscopes, trying to find answers in difficult situations. And sometimes it's very hard to find the answers. And I remember I was talking to somebody recently, and they say, I'm reading the horoscope. Everything is so good, but nothing really comes up in real life. And none of that transpires what's promised. So we will talk a little bit more today about why is that, because what the planets allow us all to do is enter into the portals of change. So and it's up to us whether we do that or not, or choose to see the recurring patterns in our lives and not change them. But this year is the year when the choice will not be an option. The choice is no longer ours. We will be forced to go through the circumstances. It's like going into the movie theater and looking at all of these movies that are offered. And some are, scary, some are comedy, some are drama. And you can choose to watch them or not. This year, it will be like you're thrown into the movie, and you have 3D, experience of all that is happening. And it's up to you how you deal in the situation like this, what type of role you choose to play. So my name is Lena Gerba, and I am a personal transformation coach. And because what happens in the sky impacts us very dearly, I'm interested in subjects like this because these are opportunities for all of us to transform. So, and I'm not an astrologist. And in my practice, I do use karmic numerology. It helps me anchor and see, particularly in the self-discovery sessions. But today I will share the outlook that came from two very special beings, my heart teachers. They are liberated masters, Shakina and Sananda. They're founders of the University of Divine Perfection. I encourage you to check their website, iodp.love. And everything that I will be sharing today comes from them. And I'm extremely grateful to be able to share the knowledge that they shared. And so let's talk about what we'll be talking about today, because there are a lot of catalysts for change, and we all have our own unique ones. Depending on the map of the sky that was when we were born, we all have different lessons, purpose. There is no another you on this planet. You're unique, and there won't be another one for the next 26,000 years. So you are unique, and no templates, no, not what works for somebody else will work for you. So you're unique, but these events that I will be talking about will impact all of us and our societies at large. So let's talk about three. very major ones, and they're eclipses, they're wormholes, and they're also transits. Some of the major planets, like Ixion, which is a new planet in our vernacular. It's the planet that only circles every 250 years. So clearly, the events are major. And, the eclipses. So let's jump straight into the eclipses. And nothing really commands change louder than an eclipse. And typically, the maximum number of eclipses that can take place in the same year is 5. But this is rare. According to NASA calculations, only about 25 years in the past 5,000 years have had 5 solar eclipses. And the last time this happened was in 1935. And the next time will be in 206. But aside from that, there are 6 eclipses this year, and 4 of them are solar, 2 are lunar. And it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for a quantum leap. And when I told you, when I gave you an analogy about the going to the movie, when you are in the eclipse, it's like putting the goggles that are the IMAX goggles that make you experience everything in the magnified way, and you tasting, and it's like going to Disneyland and watching one of those movies with the goggles on, because you experience it, so you cannot miss it. And the eclipses occur when the moon moves directly between the Earth and the sun. So when it's a solar eclipse, the sun appears to be totally or partially closed for a period of time. Remember 2017, when we had here in the US where I live, we had during the daylight, we had a full solar eclipse. So the sun was not visible. It became somewhat dark. Lunar eclipse occurs when the moon crosses the Earth's shadow, causing the moon to disappear from the sun, from the sky. They are dramatic wildcards. And they are probably some of the most dramatic tools that the universe uses to get us to pay attention to the areas in our life that need to change. And they uproot us, they surprise us, and they get us moving. And they shake us out of our feelings of complacency so that we can move from one level of maturity to another, to a higher plane. So it's a ladder. We're stepping up. And they work very rapidly. And all they want to do is to change us. And we do change. With all eclipses, something ends and something else begins. And the only way with an eclipse is forward. You cannot really pick up anything that is broken and pull it together. It will be very hard. And if you find later you don't like where you wind up, you can always have an option to make a change up ahead. But again, these are future choices. And they want us to change the past pattern. They want to kick us from the past. And they tend to create new beginnings and new opportunities. And lunar eclipses are more emotional. They bring typically final endings. And you see the 4 eclipses out of the 6 this year are lunar. And the amazing thing that I learned from Shekinah and Sananda is that every lunar eclipse holds the energies of all the prior eclipses in your entire life. And it makes it so powerful. It takes you beyond time and lifetimes. It's an opportunity to connect to past, present, and future. And it helps clear and clarify whatever still needs to be clarified, whatever beliefs, whatever limitations, whatever blocks we have. And, in the Hindu scriptures, they call it karma, but it's patterns, basically habits, habitual patterns that we carry. It doesn't matter life. And the in the lunar eclipse, it's the response that matters. So the old reaction is what we need to change. The old reaction has to change. And this is what the eclipse wants us from us. So now let's talk a little bit about the wormholes. And it's another term that is quite different. So we just had an eclipse in January, and the next one is coming in June. June will be quite powerful. Let's talk about the wormholes. The wormhole, it's like a tunnel. It accelerates the change. They usually start with the new moon, and they end with the new moon. And the new moon is always the beginning. It's the time to set the intention, to set plans, to put them in motion. As a matter of fact, the new moon is coming tomorrow, and it's in Pisces. So it's time to set plans and commit them in writing. And full moon, when the results, the intentions that you set at the new moon, they come to fruition. So between the two moons, it's important to stay focused, steady. And whatever comes as a result, you don't overreact. So there is a completion of cycle. So wormholes, they have not only new moons at the back ends, they also have eclipses, and we talked about the eclipses. So that's what makes the experience so dramatic. If you remember, the last wormhole was from the end of December of prior years through January 24th. I don't know about you, for me, it was quite dramatic. On the larger scale, we had the fires that raged through Australia and changed the face of Australia completely. For me, I had an experience in my family with my mom. She was in the hospital 3 times within a period of a month. And the wormhole is going back to the analogy that I made with the movie theater. It's not just the 3D goggles you have on. You are in the movie. Like all of a sudden, you are on the set of the war scene or some drama. You're in it. And it's the time to apply everything that you have known to apply at that point. So for me, I had stroke, GI bleed, the pneumonia, major heart arrhythmia. It was everything in between, and it was hard to find time to breathe. And in certain situations, when it's life and death, it's hard to stay calm. It's hard to meditate. It's hard to pray. It's hard to do anything. And those are the testing times. So you are real in the wormhole that is trying to push you through, because the wormhole, it's the period where you can walk the distance from where you were to where you need to be in the accelerated time. They compress the time. It's when the present, past, and future is compressed even more, and you can close a lot of past chapters. So these opportunities always help us reach higher heights and new spaces within oftentimes unknown, and a lot of times inaccessible, because we just mirrored with a lot of limitations that we carry, what psychology calls limiting beliefs and patterns, and past life trauma and drama and pain and all sorts of that stuff that lives in our emotional body. So, but the universe in 2020 and always is conspiring to make it a great and rapid transformation, giving us time to change rapidly and also assimilate. So, wormholes are an opportunity for a quantum leap because the distance between past, present, and future is collapsed. So, the key in both the eclipses and the wormholes to not be sucked into the drama, to not overreact, to not be taken down. Somebody will say, hold the frequency. Hold the frequency is not overreact. And it could be very hard. You can also get an opportunity to start something that you longed for a very long time. So it's a reboot. It's a time to reboot. And it's always the interplay between what you think you are, your emotion. You see all your polarities, your shadows, and bring them to light so that you can balance them within. And I give you the dates here. So the next one is coming in May. So pretty soon. And then the year will end with it. So 3 wormholes in a year. It's massive. Let's talk about Ixion, because Ixion is a new planet. It was only discovered in May 22, 2001. And this planet has an orbital period of 250 years. And the next time you'll see this planet in the orbit with this profound magnitude of change will be in the next 250 years. The first time I think it was orbiting, it was when this country, the US, was founded. So Ixion holds your soul purpose, your mission, why we're here, the proverbial question, who am I, what I'm here for? The purpose and the mission. So it's the promise that soul makes to accomplish on the journey of evolution. And it picks up past life energies that were unfulfilled. And whether you want it or not, we do come with baggage, we do come with history, we do come with lines written on the hand. A baby is born and there are markings. There is something that that distinguishes each and everybody's journey here. And I told you at the very beginning that each one of us is a snowflake, and there are no snowflakes alike. So when we come with a purpose, and it's not our first rodeo. And there is unfulfilled promises. There are unfulfilled promises. There is something that the soul intended and didn't. So this planet will assist in returning to the soul's promise. And what this planet will do, it will impel us to take responsibility for creating life experience and owning it rather than blaming onto something outside of our own control, outside of self, because there is nothing that is outside of self. And when you start blaming it, you blame the outside experience or circumstances. You basically perpetuate, you spin the karmic wheel of samsara and never get to the next level. You never get to the promise. So, and we want to be out of the wheel. So the magnificent thing, I don't know, in my opinion, it's magnificent. There are 3 times the Ixion cycles this year. 3 is the number it takes to anchor and sustain a truth. And February 25th, which is around the corner, just in a few days, this planet will enter Capricorn for the first time in 245 years. When is the next time you're going to see an opportunity like this? But what will happen with this, it will start connecting to your soul's purpose and give you a taste of what realization might be and leave you to integrate by going retrograde. And the planet will retrograde back and forth. And retrograde is simply go think about it, integrate what just happened. It will retrograde and go direct between Sagittarius and Capricorn over the next 2 years. So this is just the beginning of what's to come. And because it's quite profound. If you think about something of this magnitude, we need time. We all need time to integrate it. So the next time it goes into Capricorn will be May 5th, and we'll stay there for 18 months. And then June 19th, it's the day before solstice. It will hit the Earth's star chakra. So we will be thinking about what my purpose means to the collective. What is the mission? Mission is the biggest overarching idea, the big project that you came here for. Purpose is basically how to put yourself together. Who are you? Are you a shovel? Are you a fork? To simplify it. Mission is the big act. It's the big deed. And then towards the end of the year, the August 5th, for the third time and the last time, it will go back, go direct. So it's not very often that you'll see this impact. So if you put all of this together, it is massive, massive, massive change. And the reason I wanted to have this session is to offer you a course that brewed in my mind since the end of last year. All of a sudden, intuitively, the idea came, and it says, I wanted to create this course, and it's like a worm that has been eating inside, and I can't quite shake it off. So the course is very brief and intensive, and it's just to show you your own formula of change. I call it the formula of change because I keep stressing over and over that there are no snowflakes alike. What you came here for and what I came here for are 2 different missions and purposes. We all have different experience of growing up. We have everything different. So change is not simple and it's unique, but there is a way to do it, and there is a formula for it. And the formula is in our ability to crack on resources, vital resources that were blocked in childhood, the time when we birth our individuality. And these resources is what gives us energy. It's the talents, it's uniqueness, it's that color that distinguishes you. And when you tap into them, you can realize your potential. So, and there are a lot of resources that are blocked in childhood, and it's nobody's fault. It's there is a purpose behind. It's an intent. And then We will be also working on limiting beliefs, the energy draining patterns, and we carry them like a tail from life to life, and it's very hard to lose them. And we oftentimes think that they are our strengths, and we get trapped in this myopia. And the last component of formula is the hidden desires, the outcomes that we unconsciously avoid. So this course is for everybody who is looking for personal experience of how do I unplug all of this. The component to this course is coming from self-discovery tool that I use in my coaching. It's the tool where all of your matrix of reality is cryptically coded. It's your matrix. And we will be working with your individual energies. It's not a generic course about generic concepts. It's going to be about you. And this is for everybody this year. You know, if you've been working on yourself for years and still feel stuck, this course is for you. If you have been shifting, micro shifting, but the permanent changes are fleeting, you're still falling back into the old patterns and you see the world the old way, this course is also for you. And this course is also for you if you have just had your rug pulled from under your feet and you don't know where to start. So basically, it's for everybody who is navigating for a personal change and looking for actionable tools that will help them in the time when the time is priceless to do it efficiently. If you're interested in it, please let me know. Send me a personal message. It's very affordable. It is $99, and if you want to, for 4 sessions, and the first session is free. You can join to see if it's for you. And if you want to have a supervision, if you want to have an integration with it, it's $199. So it's extremely affordable. And we will be working very quickly. I'm not promising that it will be easy and not painful, but it's necessary. It's like pulling a splinter. You have to pull it so you don't create a bigger problem. So thank you. Thank you for joining. Send me a message and let me know if you want to join for free and listen to the first session. And I'm going to be starting next weekend. If you want to pay $99 and buy the course, that is just the course, and you'll get your own personal formula. It's digital, and I'll walk you through it and help you activate it. And 3, if you're looking to have a session with me to integrate, to explain it, we'll be going through immersions. We'll be going into your own matrix of reality. It's a little bit different. But listen, what you've tried so far, maybe if it didn't work, it's time to try something different. Thank you. Thank you for being here today with me. Your time is priceless, and I hope you learned something today. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.